everyone, welcome back here at Adobe Live. I'm here with the wonderful Naoma from Studio Nuevo. Naoma, thank you so much for joining us.
Hey, thank you. I'm excited to be back.
Yes. So we had a lot of fun yesterday. It was an incredible stream. I'm gonna dive in a second to do a little recap with Naoma about what we've done yesterday. But first of all, I want to say hi in the chat. I can see the chat super lively, and I want to make sure for all of you that follow us on YouTube that you tune in on behance.net/live, so I will be able to read your comments live and of course answer to any question you may have during these 2 fantastic hours of branding and identity with Naoma. But I can see in the chat, Eric Sue, how's it going? Nice to see you. Tunk, thank you so much for coming back today. Andrea Soler, Jack Watson, Jesus Ramirez is in the chat. Also, Wade Acuff, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining us. And before we dive into the stream, also want to say hi to Marla, Shahid, Diover, Askash. Thank you so much for being here with us. And Naoma, before recapping, I just want to remind everyone that at the end of the stream, in the last 30 minutes, we will be reviewing your work, your Illustrator Daily Creative Challenge here during this session. So I'm just going to show you real quick how to dive into the Daily Creative Challenge, and I'm going to jump into my screen real quick. So this is our fantastic landing page for the Illustrator Daily Creative Challenge. You can access it with the link on behance.net/challenge/illustrator, and we'll be reviewing challenge number 9 that you sorry I think it's number 8 that you've done with Julia today, which was a cinema ticket. And if you want to, of course, to share with us, and if you want to make sure that we do get to get review your work, all you have to do is to click on the link above the chat, or click here where it says community chat in order to be transported in the fantastic world of Discord, where you'll be able to share your work into the feedback challenge. And let me see if we can actually see this here at the feedback challenge chat. It's just above Naoma head. I can see in the screen. You just have it just on top of you right there. And if you, yes, correct. And if you click on the challenge and then click on the little plus at the bottom of the chat, you'll be able to share your work. And me and Naoma are super excited to give you feedback, give you some inspiration. As I always say, this is a safe space for you to learn your skills, sharpen your techniques in Illustrator, and of course get to meet and interact with amazing people. And plus you're gonna have Naoma to review it live for you. So that's very exciting. Right, that's enough for me today. I'm gonna jump into the schedule just right after we recap. So I'm gonna pass the word to our wonderful Naoma here so we can talk about a little bit more what we've done yesterday. But I want to give you a little tiny preview, which is the fact that Naoma has in fact already published or an Instagram channel. So if you want to have a first-hand look at what we've done, make sure to follow her on Instagram at nowserna. So it's instagram.com/nowserna, and you can see the first post that she has created is in fact yesterday assets that we created in Illustrator. But Naoma, please tell us a little bit more, of course, about you for those of you who were not here yesterday, and what we've done yesterday in Illustrator.
Hey guys, so I'm really excited to be back for day 2. We were working on the branding and the assets for Redesigning Her Story, a up and coming documentary about women in graphic design, of women of graphic design in America. So we kind of cleaned up the poster yesterday and we started an Instagram carousel, and today we're going to be going into InDesign and showing what a pitch deck looks like so that that documentary can go get funding and also explain a little bit about the Kickstarter campaigns. So that's what we're going to be doing today.
Fantastic. If you want to show it as well, I have your screen now. I have your screen on, so perhaps you want to also show what was on your Instagram page is actually, in fact, now in Illustrator. That's the asset that we created yesterday.
Yeah, so this is the thing we made yesterday, and I have it in trim view so that we can all see. I don't have the poster open right now, but we'll be looking at that later. So I'm just going to
Fantastic.
go ahead and start start doing stuff. Is that all good?
While you open InDesign, because I believe we're gonna start jumping in InDesign today. While you open
Yeah.
InDesign, I want to say another hello to the chat. I can see Samantha here. Thank you so much for joining us, Sam, and of course Anthony, Wade, that is being super kind and sharing Naoma Instagram link. Thank you so much, Wade, for your very useful link, and also Discord. Regan, thank you so much for joining us. We are super happy to have you here with us today, and make sure to share your work on Discord so we'll be able to review it. And while you open your file in InDesign, I'm gonna run through the schedule real quick, because after us and before us, you already had some amazing creatives sharing techniques in with the wonderful Adobe apps. But afterwards, the fun doesn't finish here. In fact, there are more fantastic stream coming up. You start the day at 7:30 a.m. with getting started in Adobe XD, followed by the one and only Paul Trani with the Photoshop Daily Creative Challenge, and then digital imaging with Magdiel Lopez. And we just watched the wonderful Julia Masaska with the Illustrator Daily Creative Challenge, and now me and Naoma here with branding and identity design. And after us, Jessie Showalter is gonna show you and introduce you challenge number 8 for Adobe XD. So the third challenge of the day, followed by the lovely Kyle with Draw Along, and the day will be closed off in fun and creativity with Voodoo Bal, with the design of and our guest Meredith Schomburg. An amazing fun-filled day. So make sure to stay tuned. But let's jump right away into your screen, Naoma. And I believe we are already in Illustrator or InDesign. Let us know. Talk us through the
Oh, well,
project.
well, we are actually in Illustrator right now because I'm just kind of creating this asset for our master page in InDesign. Sorry, I'm losing my mind right now. Um, so I'm just going to clip this out so that we can make this beautiful icon by itself. And we're just going to come over here and paste it directly into InDesign. I'm on my master's page, so I'm just trying to make oh, I did something.
And also yesterday you were telling us that the icon represent an L and a H. Is that correct?
The
And
R.
sorry, R or R and a H. That will tell you a lot about my
R.
dyslexia, because I like to swap things around. So I also swapped, or I flipped it horizontally. So an R and a H, and there are also two people with their hands up. Is that correct?
It's just for this project, besides me. But yes, R and an H, and it's just made out of simple shapes. This is really to just hone in on the graphic elements that this whole documentary is about. So I'm going to set this up. I don't know if I'm going to put it up there. I'm going to put it up on this right-hand corner over here.
So you're working on your master right now. You're placing the logo in the
I'm
master.
working on my master right now, exactly. And we just kind of want it really simple because we don't want it to take away from the other elements that we will be adding. So I'm going to add a page number to this. If my keyboard starts to work.
And while you do that, I want to say hello to all of you that are joining us now in the chat. I can see Julia. Julia is new and can get into Discord. Julia, all you have to do is to create an account, and you can simply click on the top of the chat where you're writing on behance.net/live. You can, in fact, click on join the Illustrator Discord and then simply create your name, put your name down, and you'll be able to join and then share your work on the channel, on the challenge channel, and we'll be able to see it. So let us know. I'm sure that Wade will be able to share the link with you if you need. Just put your name and you'll be ready to go. It's actually very, very easy to join Discord. But let us know if you have any problem. We're happy to help. Also, in the meantime, I want to give a shout. I can see the YouTube chat moving, but I cannot read the messages. So if you are watching from YouTube, make sure to head on behance.net/live so we can, of course, see your questions live, and I'll be able to pass your question to Naoma, and we can just say hello and we'll be able to interact live if you are on Behance. And I can see, Wade, that you're already helping out Julia. Thank you so much. And of course, hi Deborah. Thank you so much for joining us, and let us know where everyone is tuning in from today. And make sure to stick around because I also have a personal gift for everyone. So Naoma,
Ooh.
you're going so wonderfully fast. Let us know what's happening here.
Okay, so I have my master page set up with my icon at the top, and I have my master page, my page numbers right in here. I think I'm doing this right, which you cannot tell because I'm zooming in incorrectly. So so here you can see the little icon, and then the A, I know it says A and not a page number, but that's typically what InDesign does. But if we go over here to page one, it turns into page one. So if
So
I
how
duplicate
did you
this,
bring in the letter A?
so here I go to my master pages and I just made type and I just highlighted type, insert special character. We're going to do markers, current page number. So
Fantastic.
that does that. So I'm also going to make another master page that's just going to go into white. The same thing that we have, but it's all going to be white just in case I have a very colorful background and I would need things to be white and not black. So this, I'm just
Oh, that's
searching this.
very clever. So you're already preparing assets um, ahead, just in case, as you said, you have a different background.
Exactly. So
Very clever.
here, this is A, and then the way to change that is B um is my white. So here I'll go to B,
Hmm.
and here you can see that it's all white now.
Fantastic.
So I need to lock my guides. Thank you. So I also made a grid for myself, as you can see here, so that when we start laying out this whole thing, it'll get really nice and pretty. So we have quite a bit of type to lay out. So I'm excited to figure out some type choices that we're going to do with this beautiful type that Nina has allowed us to use for this project called Conductor,
Oh,
which was
nice.
a whole thing. Okay, so I'm not going to do all of that because let's just do the big paragraphs first,
Also,
actually.
Nancy is asking if there are templates assets. Nancy, if you want to head to my website, which is iamcloudy.com slash resources, you'll be able to access many different assets in InDesign and templates. So just have a sneaky peek there, and you'll be able to find templates in InDesign. So I'm gonna show you my website in a little bit. Now I just want to see how Naoma is building her InDesign file, but stick around and I'll show you how to get many freebies and not only in InDesign.
Okay, so I'm just essentially working with layers. So I'm keeping all my masters on this top layer called pagination, just so that I always want that icon and that page number to be on top of whatever we're putting into this file. And I actually have changed my mind and I'm going to make this number come out of the margin just so that I have a little bit more wiggle room. So I'm just going to copy it right there. And I'm going to do the same with my white pagination. So boom, so everything's matching and cohesive. So
Nice.
there, just move my number down. I've just put in a text box, which is huge. I always recommend just using one text box when you're using InDesign. It just makes your life a lot easier.
I
So I'm going to
completely
paste
agree. Because,
all that copy in here. And
yeah.
it's so ugly, but we're going to fix it up. Okay. So the first thing is that I'm going to make columns because nobody wants to read that much type together. So it's always easier to read on multiple columns. And then I'm going to highlight all of this and I'm coming over here. Can you see this? Or am I out of
Yes.
this?
If you
Oh,
want to zoom us a little bit more, I mean, we are cool. We can see everything in your screen, but yeah, that's probably better. We can definitely see a bit better now.
okay. Okay, so
Fantastic.
I'm hitting my little hamburger menu thing up here,
Yeah.
and I'm going to balance ragged lines.
Yeah.
And this just helps InDesign make sure that nothing looks weird, that we don't commit any type crimes.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm also going to
Oh,
come,
Carol is telling you save. Make sure to save. They are our
oh, yes,
savior. Thank you so much, Carol. You
yes.
know, they know me. I never save, so I think they're used with my with my workflow. Thank you so much, Carol. That's always a fantastic advice. Let's save.
Claudia, you're just living on the edge without saving. I can't
Yes,
imagine.
I like it risky.
Okay, so we're going to set some body copy here. So I don't know if conductors is going to be the best ally for us for body copy, but let's check it out. Okay, so this is the type that they've given us. I think this may be a little too much for body. Yeah, that's really hefty as body copy. We also want to keep our body copy about 9 or 10.
Hmm.
And I just kind of like to duplicate my letting. So if I have it at 10, your letting you should want it at 12, but I like to go a little bit more. This is really hard to read, so we need to figure out something else for body copy.
Hmm.
If anybody has any suggestions, I'm totally open to them. But for now, I'm going to just start playing around.
I'm a fan of
Um,
Montserrat
oh, yeah, that's a good one. I don't even know if I have that. I just
or
restarted
Dean.
my whole. Oh, Din. Yeah, Din is great. Yeah, I have a lot of Montserrat. So, I'm not sure I like it so rounded. So maybe we just do the regular over here, like a medium, a nice medium. I think that'll be good.
So in the meantime, I'm trying to find a link for the conductor typeface so we can share with everyone. And I just want to make sure that I'm heading to the right one. It's called Frere Johns.
Yes,
Fantastic.
they are an amazing type foundry in New York. So,
So while you keep going with your styling, I'm just gonna jump into my screen real quick so we can share this fantastic typeface called Conductor. And that's the typeface that we've been using yesterday, and Naoma has been introducing to all of us. And if you want to have a look, all I've done literally is to Google Conductor, which is the name of the type, and then typeface, and the link came up, and is frerejohns.com, the name of the type foundry. Also, I can see Big Brother just joined us. Thank you so much for being here with us. Laura, nice to see you here. Moses, thank you so much for being here, guys. Also, don't forget, this is time for useful time for questions. So if you do have any question for Naoma, I'm here with my eyes on the chat. So make sure to ask your question, and I'll be able to pass it along to Naoma. And for all of you that were here yesterday, don't worry, I haven't forgot about the contract. I will tell you very in a little bit how to be able to get the template for a contract of service of sale that I use with my studio per my soul. Of course, I deleted everything that it wasn't for my brand. And now I'm just gonna jump back into your screen right now so we can see what's happening with the body copy here.
yeah, so it looks like I'm going to go with Din, and I'm going a little bit bigger because Din tends to be smaller. So I know that I just said 9 and 10 is ideal, but this is getting a little tiny. So I'm just kind of playing around. So I think that I kind of like that body copy. I like how it works. So I'm just going to highlight this, and I'm going to start a character style. So this is vital for when you're laying out big things like this. So this I'm going to call body. So that's body. And now we need to come up with some headers and some subheaders where I think we will be using conductor for sure to keep that brand still intact. And I still have my library, so we're going to be bringing in some of that beautiful color very soon.
Oh, so I can see that you work with a typography workspace, because I was like, oh, how come that all the settings are on the top? I usually work with the properties panel on the right, and I'm like, how come like, oh, you got the font service on the top. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
But that's the typography workspace. That's super cool. And that's a question
Yes.
for you in the chat. Do you guys like to style your own workspace? Do you use the standard one? Do you use Essential? Do you use the Essential Classic? Let us know which one is your favorite workspace in InDesign. I usually create my own, and I just kind of like get stuck in my own workflow. But I think it's very clever for you to focus on what you're doing here with typeface, and I'll definitely have to try it. It looks really cool.
So I love the typography setting in InDesign. And then if we head over to Illustrator, you can see I have my own right here set up because I'm a
Mm.
little bit pickier with how I work in Illustrator. So I
Mm-hmm.
only like certain things to be out. So I do have my own um,
Ooh, fantastic! So you
Naoma
do your
thing.
own as well.
Yes, I do. But in InDesign, when I'm laying out books, the type is honestly really great. So the really good thing about using character styles is I can just highlight that and then I can do subheader and it'll mimic the same thing that I've already done. And another really great thing is like, say we were doing this and then I come in here and I decide that I want to change this. So say I'm like, oh, that's a little too big. I want it to be 18. And I'm like, okay. And it changes it automatically. That's why character styles are so amazing because it's, right now it's not that big of a deal. We have one page, but
Mm-hmm.
when we have like 50 pages on a book, going through and editing all that type, it's really a big pain in the butt. So when you have it like
Absolutely.
this, it's you're done in seconds.
So I can
So
see
I'm
Carol says that she used typography for most projects as well. Yeah,
awesome.
look forward to try that
I'm
out
right
myself.
I'm right there with you, Carol. So that's the basis. We have some subheaders, and then I think I want like another big header, right? Because we're talking about this amazing documentary read, if I can
So
spell design.
which weight of conductor? Sorry, I couldn't remember the name of the typeface. Which
We
weight
are
are you
on
using for conductor here?
we're on bold right now, and I'm about
Bold.
to play with some other stuff. So oh, I'm trying to double type here. Conductor. Okay. So I'm gonna go with a wide bold italic because this italic is so gorgeous. So I usually see, if you look at here, I usually have this set to optical. We kind of talked about that a little bit yesterday. And
Mm-hmm.
here, because the designer of this typeface told me to not ever set it to optical, I am not setting it to optical, Nina. It's on metrics. So we're doing this. I want a little bit more leading, or I can either change it there or I'm going to highlight this
Mm-hmm.
and just do option and push down so I can get myself a little bit more space.
So Moses is asking which font type is the adding, and this is the font that I was showing before, which is called Conductor. If you just type on Google Conductor typeface, will take you to the free Frere Jones type fondery, so you can see the full version of the font. Before, someone was asking if it was free or if you need to download it for a fee. You can buy it, and I saw that you can buy it either different weight or the entire family. Also, Carol Pear is asking why do the fonts say temp? Is that version free?
Oh, no, no, no. It's because since they're working with us for this project and they've given me the licensing for this, it's a temporary license while I just create all of these elements because I did not buy this.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it says temp. They are very strict on their licensing because they design fonts for people. That is their whole
Yeah,
thing. So it's pretty amazing that we got to use this.
fantastic. I'm jealous. It
Yeah.
looks
So I'm trying to
beautiful.
trying to use it as much as possible.
It's
So
beautiful.
really like this as a kind of big header. So we're going to make a new header here.
So this is your workflow, mainly starting to deal with the type, everything in black and white, and
Yep.
you don't bring in any other images. You just really focus on working on the document, and the content is the king.
Yes, that's kind of what I start right now. I'm like, I don't know if I like that there. I just start working with the type because that's kind of the more important thing right
Mm-hmm.
now.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we're gonna kind of do right now. So the
Mm-hmm.
way that I got this to go over, I don't know if anybody caught that, was I just highlighted this and then I go over to my paragraph and I hit the little hamburger and I hit span columns and I can hit all, or I can just have it go over two, or I can have it go all over all three or none. So I hit all so that it goes all over. And
Spanning all.
because I want it to go over like, I don't want this like weird thing that's happening right here.
Mm-hmm.
I usually add like a little line underneath it so that everything is looking pretty great. So I'm also going to hit span columns all okay, and see how that just kind of went down and looks really nice.
Oh,
So
yes.
that's what we're doing.
Giving some
So
breathing space.
exactly. So we're going to move this over because we have 3 columns and we have some space. So I'm moving that over, and then in the original document, you can see here, they have this bolded, and I just remember that. So I'm going to bold it as well with DIN medium. There we go.
So I have a
Actually, let's
question
do
for
both.
you. I know that you are a creative director and your studio is called Nuevo Studio, but Diego is asking, have you been doing graphic design for 15 years?
15?
I don't know where this number comes from, but that's his question.
That's a pretty good, that's a really random guess. No, I would say I started design school in 2010, so I guess 10 years now. So
Okay,
yeah,
fantastic. Congratulations.
you're not, you're not too far off, Diego.
So 10 year. And
10
what
years.
and Moses is asking, what was your thinking process for picking a specific font?
So conductor, I talk to, typically I just choose my fonts. I don't really work with type designers all that often. So because we're working with a type designer on this project,
Mm-hmm.
that kind of dictates a lot of that style. And I'm just choosing a body copy that lets that really beautiful type sing while still being very legible. So the first thing that you really want to think about is this going to be legible, and who's my audience? And you also have to think that type has its own look and feel each time. So this feels very modern and almost futuristic, because if you zoom in, like I'm going to zoom in, it has these very perfect S's, right? That's not how you typically do an S. So
Mm-hmm.
this has a lot of tech feel because it has those very hard perfected edges. Whereas if I chose something like I'm trying to think, like Baskerville, right? Like, let's go for that. Oh,
Oh, so I guess I completely missed that. Diego question was for Nancy Hernandez. So Nancy Hernandez has done design for 15 years,
wow.
and she said yes. And what about Diego? We want to know about you. For how many years have you been in design? Now we know that Naoma has been in design for 10 years. I'm definitely more green than all of you because I used to work in public relation. My career went from being a communicator in the UN to being a graffiti artist and then converting into design full time, which kind of put together my artistic and communication skills together. And also, Christian is tuning in from Peru. Thank you so much, Christian, for being here with us. Thank you so much. It's nice to see you. And Moses, we already answered your question. We got Ryan, random question. Now, my random question coming for you.
Okay, I'm excited.
Is it bad when designers use free fonts they find online?
No, I don't think that's wrong. I think it's more of just like, does it fit the concept and the idea that you're needing to explain? I am actually a major Adobe Typekit user. That's actually where most of my stuff comes from. So I say use that resource. They have some really beautiful fonts that I typically use. So I would go for them for sure. Um,
Yes, and since you are mentioning that, while you keep bringing more text in, I might just jump directly into um, Adobe Font. So let me
yeah.
just bring that up and move to my screen real quick. And here it is. So Adobe Font is a service from Adobe. You can access it with your Adobe ID, and all you have to do is to go on fonts.adobe.com and click on browse font, and you'll be able to search an almost infinite library of font. And I find it quite amazing because, as you can see, I'm going to zoom in here on my screen, you can even narrow down your research based on properties, height, caps, contrast, width. So is a very cool way to use all of this amazing font and to browse it. And then it's super easy to activate it in your activate it into your project, because all you have to do is to click here on this little icon where it says activated or deactivated font, and it will automatically load it in your Adobe apps. Also, in InDesign, Naoma, I'm gonna switch back to your screen so you'll probably be able to show it. This font service is integrated into the app, so you can literally browse and search for font directly when you're in your character panels.
Yeah, I forget about that actually, but yes, I know that you can do this.
Yeah, here it is. It's
And I can
literally
see
right
all
there.
the fonts that I used to have, way more, but I guess I still have some in here. So this is definitely, there's a huge mix in here. But yeah, here's all the fonts that I have from Adobe. Like I said yesterday, Acme Gothic Extra Wide is definitely my favorite at the moment. But yeah, so as I was talking about fonts earlier, this font, obviously, that I just chose, Arno Pro, that doesn't feel very modern. So that's where I'm saying that it really depends on what, this looks a lot more timeless, traditional. So if I was talking about something that was like very high end or luxury even, this would be a font that would be maybe chosen. But since we're going with this very
Bolder
kind of like
look.
futuristic,
Yeah.
bolder, breaking grids and in your face, we're using this din with this.
I love Dean. I've done my book, my book in oh my gosh, I can't remember the name of my book. Plant therapy is all done with Dean in terms of copy. So I'm a big fan of Dean. And also, just wanted to go back to the question regarding fonts online. I think that's absolutely cool to choose free fonts. What I would recommend is to make sure that you license font as much as you will do with photography. So make sure that you do your research, make sure that you're very diligent before using anything for work, and make sure that you license everything that you need to license, and you double check when something says for free what are the extent of the usage as well. And also there is a question, also I can see Andrew, nice to see you, Andrew Ockrattle, it's a party, yes. Andrew, love your stream, we have so much fun. Anytime that I see that you're streaming either on Adobe Live or on your own channel, I have to tune in because I know that it's gonna be fun time. And
I'm not gonna lie, I'm very nervous that you're here because I totally love your streams. So I'm very nervous.
Andrew is super cool. I had the wonderful opportunity to stream together, and we had a blast. It was very fun. Also, there was a question regarding Comic Sans. Let me just go back and see if I can find a Big Brother was asking,
Oh,
is it
boy.
better if you use Comic Sans? You're asking for it now.
I don't know how to say this nicely. I think if you're doing a comic book, then go for it. But if you're not, I think there's better solutions for you.
I agree. I'm gonna quote you on that in the future. If you're doing a comic book, that's a perfect font. Otherwise,
there's way better things out there in the world for you. So go with those.
Absolutely. I agree. You can get me. So, Big Brother, you knew your answer. You knew your answer. I'm just gonna want to say hi to Boo Boo. Greetings from Ghana. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's fantastic to see where this amazing Adobe Light reach you. And since I've interrupted you again, I want to take this time to make sure that everyone stayed tuned in for later on, because we will be reviewing your work on Discord. So you got a link just above the chat, and I'm sure that Wade being the awesome person that he is, always is going to share the link for you on behance.net/live. If you are watching from YouTube, make sure to head on behance.net/live so you can click on that link and join Discord, where you will be able to share the Illustrator Daily Creative Challenge that you created today with Julia Masalska, which was a cinema ticket. And me and Naoma will be able to give you feedback live in about I guess an hour, just in about an hour.
So I'm actually just going to kind of jump ahead to this Kickstarter part, because this is going to be really the fun part, because I don't think you guys want to watch me layout type for 90 minutes and I can get really tedious about it. So I'm just going to jump over here to the fun part so that we can show off some of the goods, like the beautiful palette that we've developed and all of that. So here's the Kickstarter stuff. Here we go. This looks like crap right now.
So Naoma, this is gonna make you happy. Andrew is saying, "Hey, you're doing great. This is my kind of content." Whoop, whoop, whoop,
whoop. Yay! I'm so happy right now, and I'm slightly fangirling, so this is awesome. Okay, so here we go. We have our body copy subheader. This is actually going to be a header, and see what it does. That's not good. So we're going to go over to our paragraphs, and we're going to span those columns so that that doesn't happen. Span all columns. There we go. That looks so much better. So there's going to be different pledge levels. So we're going to make these pledge levels definitely subheaders. I think that might actually be too big. So we're going to duplicate that subheader and do subheader 2.
And maybe afterward, if we zoom in a little bit more, we can really take a wonderful look at the font that you're styling.
For sure.
And Nadi Shore is asking a question. I have a question. I'm a beginner in designing, and I just want to know, how do you visualize how to set layout for provided content by client? So how do you visualize the layout with a given content?
Oh, so this is probably not going to be the right answer, but I don't really visualize it. I just kind of get in there and start playing.
No mood boards?
Oh, definitely there's some mood boards, but I'm saying like when I've already had, like the brand is already done, I kind of just start making stuff. But yes, if there's no brand elements, definitely go to mood boards first, figure out the concept. I also do a lot of brainstorming to see what the concept is going to be before we even start making something. I go from concept first to then creation. But every designer is definitely different. But that's just kind of how I roll.
That's how you started as a beginner as well, or that's something that you are that you picked up in your workflow now that you definitely have more experience?
No, definitely. The school I went to for design definitely kind of beat the concept idea into you. So there was not really a whole lot you could do, because you always had to approach the projects with the concept, the solution first, and then figure out the visuals. So like when we approached this concept, we were all about, okay, it's women in graphic design, a documentary. It's all these women that have been kind of forgotten in time, and we're kind of rewriting the history a little bit. So we're breaking some of the past patterns or some of the things that people have forgotten.
Breaking the rules.
Yes. So, or just kind of shoving our way back in. So that was the concept with that, which is if we go back to this carousel thing we yesterday, it is definitely all about breaking. Oh,
yes.
It's all about breaking those rules and those guides and being very in your face. So this is going to go into this InDesign document that we're working on, which I know it doesn't look like it now, but that's kind of the plan right now. So
I'm going to pass you some question, Naoma. Moses is asking, where do you go or which resources do you use for getting inspiration for design layout, colors, ideas, etc.?
Oh, actually, I use Behance, which you should be on.
Behance, on Behance. And also, I don't know if you use the wonderful mood boards creation on Behance. Is actually super cool. While you keep styling the text, Naoma, I'm just gonna jump real quick on my screen so I can share Behance mood boards with everyone, because I think it's very, very cool. A cool way to create and to research inspiration. So I'm just gonna jump, and oh, I can see Tunk. Tunk, I don't know if you're still there in the chat, but I just opened my Behance and I could see your festival creation. Yes, for yesterday. I remember that yesterday we reviewed the pixelated one. Do you remember, Naoma?
Oh, I do.
I'm
Yes.
just gonna put it on my screen. Here it is. Lovely work. So I'm gonna take Tunk as an example since he's been always with that in the chat. I don't know if he's still with us in the chat. Hopefully, yes. But I'm gonna use his work as an example to show you how to create mood boards in Behance. All you have to do is to click on the project that you like, and as you can see, you got a little button here. Is transparent, so you gotta look for it so it doesn't disturb you from the lovely graphics. Well done, Tunk. It looks very, very cool. A very nice cover, and you can click in order to add the project to the mood board, or if you want, you'll be able to add simply one image to the mood board. So I'm just going to show you here. You can pick literally any image you want. So let's say this one here. All you have to do is to click on add to mood board and then click new mood board, and you can name your mood board. So I'm just going to use that example and click on create, and then click on save, and the image is already saved there. So my advice in order to use it for layout is just to type layout. Tunk, you've done a fantastic job, by the way. I hope that you're still there in the chat because we're giving you a little bit of a shout here at your work. So all you have to do is to go to your search bar, search design and layout, and when you find something that you enjoy and you like, just add it to your mood board. And I'm just gonna jump back into your screen, and I'm gonna come back with more questions for you. More questions. Let me go back into the chat, and again, I can see the YouTube chat moving. If you do wish for me to pass your question to Naoma or answer your question live, make sure to head on behance.net/live and join the chat so we can talk to you live. And I can see a question from Quadzi Ikram asking, why don't you use pictures just to break the text and the reader will feel some break?
Oh, for sure. I'm getting there. Don't worry. I just am a little bit of a type Nazi a little bit. So we're going to kind of fix this up, and then I'll be throwing in some images and some of that color that we were using yesterday.
Fantastic. We look forward to see the color. Also, let's see if there is any other questions. Carol said that when she started, she will tear out a magazine pages, and then they were appealing to her, and now she just look online. Carol, I still do that. I still take anything from posters, from menu, anything that I can find around, whatever I find really worth it. Probably now I'm a bit more selective. Before I used to have literally scrapbook filled with pages of materials, but definitely, yeah, online is the better way, and definitely take less space and is more organized to between Pinterest, of course, Behance. Those are a great place to start. But I love books and I love tangible items, so having your private collection of cool design, I think is do you have any of that? Do you have like a Naoma, do you have like a private collection of eye candies?
Oh man, probably
somewhere.
I have so many CA magazines and print magazines also that showcase really good design. So I have a lot of that as well. I keep all my sketchbooks, which is it's starting to look a little bit like hoarders in my house. So I'm about to do some purging, but I definitely have a lot of digital stuff. So that's where that kind of comes in. So right now I'm going to just kind of throw in some of these mock-ups that I made. We were going to make these yesterday, but
ooh, those are looking pretty.
So I'm just kind of selecting that. I think that's a little too small, and I don't want that black around it. So I'm going to make this a lot bigger. Remember how we were playing with, I'm sorry, I'm working with a new keyboard here. So how we were playing around with these big circles and in your face things. So this is the DVD, which I know we all totally still use, but since this documentary is for educational purposes, they will be having DVDs to be given to schools so that
Oh,
they
yeah.
can like.
And if you can zoom in a little bit more for us, we can appreciate the beauty of the mock-up because I can see it from here. It looks fantastic. So don't be
There you
shy
go.
and show us the beautiful mock-up there. It
That's
looks
that. I know.
fantastic.
But you wish you were still had your DVD collection? Don't
Yes,
worry,
please.
I still have mine, but I have no DVD player. So,
Isn't that funny? I do the same with CD. I cannot get rid of my CDs collection from Eminem, Christina Aguilera, or whatever the good music. Gwen Stefani. I was listening to my time and probably dating myself, but that was my music, and it's still there in my bedroom in my parents' house. And my dad is like, "Can we get rid of this?" Like, no, that's my music.
no, definitely not. Definitely not.
So I think one day they will just disappear, and I will probably don't even notice. But
I did have an awesome DVD collection, but somebody broke into my car a few years ago and I
oh
was gone.
no.
And by a few years ago, it's probably like 7 years ago. So
But it still feel like it was yesterday.
it still does. Yeah. I have a lot of really great mixtapes. So actually, I use a lot of music when I'm designing. So it's kind of weird to be designing while talking rather than listening to music. Usually I just throw on some jams and kind of go for it. So if you guys have great music recommendations, I'm always up for
Yes.
hearing them.
Music is a friend of designer. Also
Yeah,
soothing, helping concentration, relaxing, breaking the monotony of the work, and of course inspiring. And I have a
for
question here from
sure.
Diego. Diego is asking, what do you do when you do a ugly work but you think it's good and then you realize it's so bad?
Well, the
Welcome
good
to a
thing is
live.
that you the good thing is that you recognize that it's bad. So you still have time to fix it. And that's important because it's really bad when you think that you're making amazing work and then it's really not, and then somebody else has to tell you, or you give that to the client. Um, but I say just, I mean, you're always going to get better. I know that I'm going to look back at this video in a year from now and cringe because we're always just trying to better ourselves. I mean, I think that's why everybody else is here. So,
I always say fail and fail fast. The
yep,
faster and the more you fail, you're one step closer to a better version of yourself. So don't be afraid of whatever, if you call it ugly or if you call it not good design, whatever. And I know, I think is fantastic what you said about, first most important thing is that you become aware,
yep,
that you can do better.
yep, that is a biggie. So, I would definitely go with that. So, right now, I'm actually just making these circles and I'm just kind of plopping some of these images in it. And then I'm probably
Fantastic.
going to move this type around because I'm totally breaking every part of my grid right now. But that's okay. So, like, it has to get ugly before it gets pretty.
Of course,
So,
that's part
just
of the process.
it is.
So while you bring
So,
the image in, I'm just gonna remind everyone that we will be reviewing the Illustrator Daily Creative Challenge number 8 with Julia Masalska, which was a cinema ticket on Discord. In order to access Discord, make sure to click above the chat, just above your name there, where there is the Join the Illustrator Discord. You will access the wonderful world of Discord and you'll be able to share your work on the feedback channel called Challenge. And right there, me and Naoma, in about 40 minutes, gonna probably 40-50 minutes, we'll be there to review your design. As I always say, this is a safe space. If you're not done with it, if you're not sure what you're doing, share anyway. We are here to sharpen our skills, learn new techniques, help each other grow and become better designer every day. So don't be shy, share the work with us. We're here to help, and maybe you're just gonna get a lot of compliments live, which doesn't hurt.
exactly. So now I'm breaking up my circle thing and I'm bringing in another box because we can't be too
Those
expected.
mock-ups are so beautiful. I love the sticker. The quote worked out fantastic. Very,
I
very
know.
beautiful.
Who doesn't want these? I mean, I'm already
Yes,
queued up
please.
for some, so hopefully that'll come in. I don't know about that. I'm not gonna do that. So I think I have some more. I think I have another mock-up. somewhere around here.
Also, Joritma is joining us today as well. Thank you so much for sticking with us today. It was yesterday also with us. I can recognize the name. And let's see if there is any other question for you. Can we give run around text kind of thing with this circle? I'm not sure what you mean. Run around text. Maybe it means kind of like having the text going around the image.
We could.
Let's see where we're heading. Let's see. Thank you for the advice. We're gonna keep it in our inspiration.
I mean, I don't know.
Yes, they're asking for text wrap. Text wrap around the images.
Wrap.
Yes.
Yes.
Let's see if Naoma does some.
Yeah, let me get there.
We're bringing the images. Also, there was another question regarding your gorgeous mockup, and I believe, let me see who asked the question so we can reply. And also we have Anthony saying your filing system looks so organized. Organization is the secret for success.
It is. I can definitely dive into that a little bit too. So I think organization is definitely a key. So no, I'm not sure I'm done with these yet. I want to break.
Moses is asking, how did you design those DVD and mags pictures? And I will add, they look fantastic.
Magic. No, I'm joking. Photoshop. That's what it is.
Well, Photoshop and magic, they're not too far off each other, you know?
Exactly. Exactly. No, there's some great mock-ups, and also Adobe stock has some really good mock-ups. And if you find some Photoshop ones, all you have to do is plop your image in there, and then it looks like you spent a lot of time doing things that really only took you 5 minutes. That's the beauty of Adobe, I would say.
Yes, with all this wonderful service integrated that keep you focusing on creating. And Nancy Hernandez is saying, love the quote. I guess the quote that is in the beautiful sticker that it says, think more.
Design less.
Design less. And she said that it reminds us of work smart, not hard.
For sure. That is Ellen Lupton, who we kind of talked about a little bit yesterday. She is the writer of Thinking with Type. So if you're into type like I am, that is definitely somebody to go follow. And I think I'm actually going to move these images to my next page. I'm going to zoom out a little bit and throw them down here. I think that's too many pictures on one side. So, you know, we're not really printing this. This is going to be a digital book, so this can be however long we want it to be. So I'm going to lock my images and go back to my type.
So I can see Julia in the chat on Behance is having some issue to share her work on Discord. Hopefully Wade is going to be able to jump in and help you out. But Julia, should be very straightforward to make sure that you are into the Illustrator Discord and then had feedback. Let me actually show you real quick. So sorry Naoma, I just want to be able to help her with Discord so we can then review her work. And
for sure.
Here we are, and I'm actually gonna move Naoma next to me so you'll be able to see this a little bit better. So Julia, assuming that you are here hopefully on the Illustrator Discord by clicking on the link provided by Wave, and here it is. Once you click here on the feedback challenge, here it is, then all you have to do is to click on this little plus at the bottom of the chat. And once you click on it, it will open a window with your desktop, and you can pick, for example, I have this artwork over here. Go to your destination folder, select the work that you want to share, and click on open. And the work will be shared. I'm just going to do this as a test. And I'm going to tell everyone that this is a test, and then click on upload, and you will see that your work will just head there into Discord. So hopefully that helps everyone that wants to share your work, and don't forget that we're going to be reviewing this very soon. Now I'm going to jump back to you, Naoma. Sorry for this, but hopefully we are helping everyone in order to get their feedback. I know that they're very excited to get your feedback live on Discord. So hopefully, Julia, you can share your work as well.
For sure. I'm excited to see what everybody's working on. So
and you guys have like 30 minutes. So Julia, well done for starting to uploading your work as well. I hope that everyone else upload the work.
Okay, so this is kind of how I like this layout. So, except I don't like that that crops. So I'm going to turn off hyphenation, right? I have hyphenation all
Oh,
off.
you're not a fan, correct? I'm not a
No,
fan.
I am not a fan. So, and I just want to make sure that my balanced ragged lines is selected, which it wasn't. So let me just double check that again. And I'm good. Okay, so we're going to add some color here. So I'm going to go back to my CC library, see why that's so handy. I have all those images now.
CC
So
Library are fantastic, aren't they?
yeah. So I don't know if I want to do, I don't know if I want to do this light purple pink or if I go with the hot pink, but that contradicts. So maybe we do orange to just be a little bit
Nice.
rebellious. So we'll go with the orange. And since this navy is actually so dark, I actually think I'm going to nix all my black and I think I'm going to make everything navy. So it
Nice.
just kind of still goes. And I'm going to change that on my pagination as well, just so that there's no black.
Do you do it
Because
from it's just now because as an example, would you change the color from the paragraph styles, or how do you usually proceed with the color, or it's just something that you do at the end when you're set on the color that you're gonna use?
yeah, I just kind of like I do play around with it once I'm on a page, and then when I'm like, yes, that's what we're gonna go do, I'll change it in my paragraph styles.
Perfect.
So yeah, so that then I don't have to do more work, right? So since
Fantastic,
I
yeah.
choose that, since now Claudia is calling me out, I'll go to paragraph styles and I'm gonna change it
I'm
so
just I'm just very curious of everyone's work. Sometimes I override style and I forget to do the character styles. I don't and that's why I'm just simply curious to see how other designers work, because I think that that's another beauty of the life, to see the reality of our workflows, and everyone does it differently.
for sure. So I also went ahead and made another subheader too, which is the same as the one we had made, but I just named it orange so that I know. And so we have a lot of other stuff left over from over here. So
Oh,
I'm
what
going to
is that? What is the other
click my
mockup
little
then?
plus button and I'm going to launch that here and see we're on the white pagination. So I need to change this pagination to be my dark color. Oops, I'm going to open that up. So I just right click, apply master pages. We're going to do A, and then that all is going to be black, navy now, because I just changed my mind.
Yeah.
So we're going to do this and see here, it already changed it to navy because I
Oh,
changed my
fantastic.
copy. So here we're going to do subheader orange. And I think I just made a lot of space on stuff. So we're going to probably delete a lot of this because I know that I'm missing some type, some more pledges. There we go.
Some more
So
money. Give us more money.
exactly. We need a lot of money to make this movie actually happen. Though this is really the only thing I'm contributing to this movie is by doing the design. So,
Well, that's
but
a,
yeah,
that's a great help, because I'm sure that with this pretty design, with this gorgeous color, is gonna definitely bring more attention to the pledge.
yeah. So the reason why we're making a pitch deck today, by the way, is not just because Naoma wanted to make a pitch deck, but because this documentary needs to write a few grants and needs to get some money to actually make this into production. This is a great way to showcase the why behind the film, as well as how organized this is. So this looks a lot more organized than if you just had a Word document, correct?
Yes, absolutely.
So that's not why we're doing this. Oops, I keep messing up my panels. So I'm gonna go and make this break the grid a little bit. And I'm gonna pull this up. I just double clicked to bring that up in. And then this is the tote bag, which I think is super cool. And I have the wraparound text on it. So here up here, I have that wraparound object shape. So no type can go around it. See how it moves it over?
So she's doing some wrapping, because everyone in the chat was wondering, is she's gonna do some wrapping? Yes, we're doing
Yes,
some
I
wrapping.
am. I am. And so I'm gonna pull this out as well. And I want to make this a little bit bigger.
So Joe Ritma is asking, sorry, Joe Tirmia is asking, I need to learn how to use grids, how to create them.
Oh, um, so easy. I'll just kind of redo that. So I'll just make a new page. I've just been duplicating everything, but here, and then I'm gonna hit W so you can see everything, and W shows you the print version. So it's like trim view for Illustrator. So I go to layout and I go to create guides, and I do it to margins, but that's just my personal preference. And so I did a 2010 with a 0.125 gutter. And then that just kind of creates those grid lines for yourself.
Fantastic, nice and easy.
Super
Thank you
easy.
so much for showing us.
Those are really great when you're laying out. Like right now, we're definitely breaking the grid on everything. But we'll get in there once I start getting nitty gritty. I'll definitely be lining stuff up to the grid. So I don't really like how that pushes things over. So I'm going to put it underneath. And I actually may make this image really big. And pull that out a little bit, maybe. So I think we'll do that a little bit.
Is that like a tote bag?
It is.
Oh, with the quote. I want one, please. One for me.
Right?
So beautiful.
Well, I think if you, where is it that you have to pledge? I put it as the t-shirt. So if you pledge $300, you can get the tote bag, the pencil bag, which is
yeah, that was so gorgeous. That's so cool.
And the mugs. So
really cool.
Nice
package.
We're just kind of showing what this could really look like. So
the colors are so beautiful. Like it's so energizing and soothing at the same time, which is, I know that they're like a contrast, but I think that's the feeling that I'm getting.
That's kind of the point a little bit, to be a little like in your face, but also that you want to keep looking at it a little bit more. So I kind of want to get this to, oh, I missed that. So I'm just gonna take that off, and I kind of want this to come down. Yeah. And right now I have it on that. And now I need to figure out how to show off these two. So I'll come back to that. But because I have this space, I'm probably gonna drop this down.
So we're really enticing with the tote bag.
Yeah, we really want you to give that $500.
Yes.
So, but now this is annoying. So we're
and that brings an idea of a hierarchy as well. So you really make bigger images that you want to promote more.
Exactly. So that's kind of what we're all about a little bit, is we're trying to get people to give money to this cause. So I'm trying to make the mock-ups look amazing and make it feel like you really want to be part of this. Which why wouldn't you want to be part of this?
Exactly. Right? Support.
So I actually think I'm gonna move this to the other page.
Jyotirmia says, wow, that was really very easy. Thank you. And I think it's about the grid. It was because this question was about the grid before.
Okay, so. I was like, I don't know what that was about, but yes, awesome. I'm glad it helped. So I'm not liking this or more, so I'm just adding a little plus sign. And that's just me kind of eliminating this visual clutter, right?
Yes.
And the plus sign as more. So sometimes I take some liberties when I'm doing layouts for people, and sometimes the client is very adamant about the body copy that they've given us. But since I essentially took this off of their what's it called, their Google Docs that they had shared with me, I think it's okay. So I'm gonna throw that back. I think I kind of like it up here. I think I like it kind of taking up some space. Oops.
So do you ever ask if you are allowed to do it or not, or you just go for it until you get caught?
I'm more of the ask forgiveness. later.
Yes.
But I mean, I also have everybody take, like, everybody has eyes on this before anything goes to press or anything like that. So this is more of a, since they haven't seen this, obviously I'm designing it live right now.
Hmm.
Um, if we go through rounds of edits, right? So if they're like, I don't like that, Naoma, that we can still fix everything. Everything is fixable.
Hmm. Of course.
So um, yeah, I I say ask for forgiveness if there's a reason why you're doing it. So I don't just do things because I'm like, I don't like that it says or more, but for me it's like I'm eliminating visual clutter so that people can focus on this other stuff that's actually like the important stuff rather than reading or more or more or more 900 times.
And then
So
a little plus is less scary than a more.
exactly. So that's kind of my visual, that's my way of that's my reasoning behind doing that, right? So if you have a good reason, I say go for it, and then you can ask for forgiveness.
I agree. I always pretend like, oh, I didn't know that happened. I'm sorry. I'll bring it back. But I tend to
Exactly.
like chuck away all the text that creates, messes out with a beautiful, neat layout.
Yeah.
And Kazi is saying that I like the way you're working. I used to do it in a very difficult way. So I'm so glad that here, Naoma, your tips and your techniques are really making life easier for everyone watching the
Awesome.
stream.
I love that. So I'm just pulling this little squiggle over from Illustrator, and it's copying and it's huge. So I'm gonna just make it smaller. Okay, I pushed the right button, thank goodness. I'm just gonna kind of make this like a highlight thing, right? Where it just kind of tells you to pay attention to what we're looking at.
Hmm.
And my and if you look at everything that we've been making, um, you never really see the squiggle alone. So that's kind of a rule I already have in place. So I'm not just going to leave one squiggle. I'm going to put two. And I hope you guys are loving the super technical terms that I'm using.
The
Um,
squiggle. We love
so
it.
there we go. I'm going to bring in that orange again. Since this has a lot of pink, very heavy on the pink, I'm kind of bringing in this orange. And usually I don't let things overlap, but because I think that this actually adds more attention, I'm letting that happen. The only thing
Hmm.
I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in to make sure that we don't cause any sort of weird tension. So, oops, I'm moving that. That's not what I want to do. Command C. So right here, it's giving me a little bit of weird tension, and I think that just may be me, but I'm gonna bring it out and drag it a little under. See how that makes it a little less
Yes.
scary?
Yes.
And then I'm gonna drag it over so that we don't have that weird white triangle peeking through. So, and then I'm going to put it on top so that that squiggle goes behind. And these two I'm gonna move on top. So I just do that with Command Shift and then this um I, super technical. What is that? What is that thing? You know, the
Which
square. It's
mm,
like the square parentheses.
square parentheses?
Yeah.
The one
Command
is
Shift.
under the curly bracket?
The one that's under the equal sign.
It's a
That
curly
one brings.
bracket.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So we got a curly bracket and a square bracket. You're
Super
asking in
technical.
Italian. I mean, I can tell you in Italian for sure. But yeah, those are our little brackets, I assume. Yes, Carol is
Okay.
saying brackets. Yes, brackets.
You.
And also, A Villa is joining us. Hello, girls. Hello, everyone. Hello, Villa. Nice to see you here. And yeah, everyone is saying brackets. So we nailed it. It's bracket. The little things are bracket.
Thank you. Bracket. Yes. Well, that's to bring stuff up. So now I'm just getting nitty gritty right here. But that's just me. So I don't like it going over the D, so I'm just kind of scooting it. And I just don't want to see that white come through. So now I'm going to zoom out, just make sure it looks good. So it looks pretty good to me. I'm going to move the stickers up just a little bit. And actually, I don't like that I can see the double. So what I'm actually going to do is take off. I'm going to go ahead and make another master page that has only the number and not the icon. So I'm just duplicating my master, and it's going to become C master here in a second. I don't know what's happening with my computer. I think it's over it or not. Okay. I don't know, Claudia, maybe we need to show some stuff.
So while you deal with that, I'm actually gonna keep my promise for those of you that were here yesterday. I know Carol was with us, and Lorna and Jorithma. I'm just gonna move to my screen real quick. And I'm actually, I was reading about you on your website, so I got you as soon as I put on my screen. But what I wanted to show you is that as I promised yesterday were a lot of questions regarding contracts, regarding how to deal with clients, pricing, how to manage the relationship with your clients. So because a lot of you were looking forward to see how to protect your work, maybe if you don't get paid by the clients, I decided to share with you the standard contract that I use at Studio Print My Soul. This is a general contract for graphic design services, and is my you can find it is a template of a contract for a sale of services, and you can find it with a bunch of other free gift. And in order to do so, well, the page is iamclaudy.com/gift, but in order to have the little keyword, the little password that will allow you to get into the gift page, let me just go back and navigate. All you have to do is to subscribe to my website. So if you go to iamclaudy.com/resources, I will email you. I will not. Right away, you will receive an email. That was a very Italian right away.
I like that.
Right away. You will receive an email with the password in order to access the gift page. And of course, if you're already subscribed to the mailing list, I will be sending that out to you anyway. Also, here you can find under resources a lot of different freebies, and that's what I was talking about before. I believe there were a question regarding template. You can find Photoshop template, you can find Illustrator template for branding, starter file for designing, and of course a lot of InDesign grids, a lot of InDesign and editorial previous stream, also assets here, templates, and mockups is the word that I was looking for. So make sure to head to iamclaudy.com/resources in order to get all your freebies, and put your email here in the field to receive the secret password to access the contract. And to give you a little look, Naoma, give me a shout when you're ready to go, because I'm also here. I'll be moving to your screen very soon. I just wanted to show you how the contract looks like. Of course, I deleted all my business details, but I've put here client name, invoice reference, your logo goes here, and I'm working pretty much as Naoma is working right now. So you will find a master page. Well, you'll be able to change the logo, you'll be able to change the name of the contract, and all the different details. So here you have this little contract ready for you to be used. And of course, read it. Make sure to change everywhere where it says the client. It will be the client, and where it says your name, let's see if I found one of that over here. Here where it says your name, you will have to change it with your name or your business name. And I really hope that this will be a useful gift for you. And it comes along with many other assets of business card and menu design, following my previous stream in InDesign. But now I'm gonna jump back into your screen.
Yep, I'm ready. We're
fantastic.
back.
We're back. Fantastic.
Sometimes InDesign doesn't like it when I make a lot of master pages, but I don't know.
So we make it work. We made it work.
We make it work. And master pages, I have to keep making them. So because they're amazing. Yes. So I'm going back to the type, and we're gonna figure out what to put in here. So I did get some images that I kind of liked, just as etc. images. That's kind of what I use sometimes. So we're gonna make a frame on the images, and I'm pulling up my grid just so that I can see kind of what's happening. And I want, keep hitting that. We're gonna pull it down to match right there. and then Command D, and I'm going to do some placing. So I already put in all my mock-ups. Great. I have some photos over here that we can use of women working, having fun, awesome office spaces.
Are photos are a photo that you've taken, or you've taken with a photographer, or
Oh
they're
no.
stocks?
These are stock images that I'm just kind of pulling as placeholders while before the documentary gets a photo shoot. So this is more of also works as a mood board for the client to let them know these are the type of images that we're looking for, etc., etc.
Fantastic.
So these are mainly placeholders. We're going to do our little trick from yesterday, right? Does everybody remember that one where we put the box over and we're just going to make it a black box? And then we're going to go over here to effects and make that a saturation. And then
that's the quickest way to transform an image in black and white.
Yep.
So
it's
cool.
not always perfect, but it's a good just as a basis. So we're going to bring out another color.
Carol is asking, how do you apply the different master pages to the pages?
Oh, that's a great question. So let me just get this on multiply, and then let me show you how to do that. So you go over to your page panel, and so see here you have my C, which is where I took the icon out because I didn't like how it was doubling. So you right click on your page and you put apply master to pages and you choose which master. So A is that one, and B is my white pagination. So here we have white, but because I don't want that icon, I made another master page, which is C. So I hope that helps you there. I see that it's actually kind of that. I just noticed that type is really close to.
Also, there is another quick method, which is a little bit fast and furious, like the one that I use.
I like it.
Which is simply drag and drop the master into the pages. Like, I don't know if you want to show it from your hand, so I don't have to switch screen. But if you open the pages panel and then click whatever master you want, and poop, you place it into the image.
I just learned that. Cool.
Well, as I said, different. I learned your way. I didn't know your way existed. So we're always learning. We love Adobe Live for that, because we always learn. And speaking of learning, we're going to be reviewing your work on Discord. So submit your cinema ticket. We look forward to see them. Yesterday, we saw some fantastic design. I'm really excited to review your work. Remember, the link is just above you in the chat. And if you are on YouTube, make sure to head on behance.net/live, and you'll be able to access the Illustrator Discord. And we look forward to see your work on the channel feedback challenge, feedback channel. And we look forward to see your work, and we'll be reviewing in about 15 minutes. Maybe I'm gonna give you 20 minutes, so we're gonna have time here to finish the deck with Naoma. And make sure to submit your work. We look forward to give you feedback and maybe inspire you to finish off the work.
That's not right. So I'm just kind of pulling in some more of those elements that we were using yesterday. So here's this dot pattern, the grid, that I'm kind of pulling in, and I'm just gonna kind of place it over this image. I kind of like this orange on orange, but I think it'll look better when I bring up my CC libraries and I make it this like cream, just to kind of break this up a little bit. And I may want to have it come out over the image. No, I don't. I want it to go back over the image only, and just kind of make it look awkward a little bit. So that's what we're going to do. Intriguing, right? And now I'm going to pull this arrow that we made also yesterday, and I'm just going to kind of throw it over here. Oops.
Also, I want to say hi to Anna Brackett. Anna, nice to see you. Anna has been here with us on Adobe Live many times in the chat. It's always amazing to see familiar faces. I feel like you guys are my friends. I really love to hang out here on Adobe Live. So hi, Anna, and hi, everyone. Thank you so much for being here with us. We're having a great time with Naoma. I'm learning a ton.
So I'm just kind of bringing in these elements that are causing a little bit of hierarchy, right? So I want people to read the why of this film and why they want to get involved and why they would want to give some money to this. So working on that, I'm going to add this over here. I'm going to make it blue just to add even more. I'm going to bring out my grid again just to make sure it lines up. It does.
Fantastic.
Then,
I love the way that you've done it with blue. I think it really created a wonderful balance.
yeah, and so I kind of want this film because this is like the first page that we're bringing the film about. So I kind of want to make this redesign her story a little bit brighter. So I'm going to make it hot pink because I can. So it really stands out when we zoom out of the whole thing. So there's that. I don't want the pagination on this page. So I'm actually going to make, I'm actually going to not apply a master. So I'm going to hit none and that'll take that away. I don't like that picture right there. And it also was disrupting my icon over here. So that's what we're kind of doing. So I think right here, we're going to start a new page. I'm going to just bring this one up because I'm not using it.
Santiago is saying, looking good, Naoma. I love the colors. Couldn't agree more. It's so beautiful.
Awesome. I love that everybody's loving these colors. I'm excited.
Yes.
That's awesome. So I'm also going to take off the master on this one. So I'm just going to leave this as a kind of breaking page and where we can come and have some fun like we were having yesterday. Yes, so yes. I think I'm going to bring in.
And for those of you who are just tuning in, I wanna remind you that this lovely design that Naoma created yesterday is now live on her Instagram. So go and check out Naoma Instagram at nowserna. Hopefully Wade will be able to share the link with you in the chat and you'll be able to see the work created yesterday in her latest post.
Awesome. And so I also have this. Nope, that's the wrong thing. But I have these quotes that I've been pulling. So the think more, design less, we're already using that quite a bit. So I'm going to use a Jessica Walsh quote right now, and I'm going to just throw that in here, just to kind of break up this pitch deck to give that inspiration.
We love you, Jessica.
For sure. And if she joined, I would think I would die right now. So
you're like starstruck.
For sure. So I'm going to move that to optical.
Why not? We need to find a way to get Jessica Walsh on Adobe Live.
For sure.
Be so inspiring.
That would be amazing.
Maybe you can do a Lady Wine Design Jessica Walsh stream. We need to talk with all our Adobe angels behind the scene to see if that can happen one day.
Yeah, that would be amazing. So I'm going to make this that color, but now because we have that grid, that color, I'm going to change the grid pattern to be, I'm going to do blue. So I'm just kind of reiterating the kind of what we did yesterday here. I'm kind of following the same method of having these quotes on top so that people know that we're doing a quote. Oops, that is not right.
Consistency is the key, yeah?
Yes. Follow your own rules. So maybe this will work. No, it does not like me. I'll make my own again.
No, it's just because you're clicking into the type text. So if you copy, you need to copy again, and then maybe put it onto the pasteboard on the side.
There we go.
Yay.
You're right. Good job. Good job. This is why you're the host and not me, obviously.
Oh, no, well, trust me, there are so many things I don't know. I just think that everyone knows some things. And as I keep saying, like the reason why I'm often in the chat as well. I do the stream, I'm the host, but many times now I'm also with everyone else is in the chat learning new tips here. That's why I love Adobe Live so much. There are some things that I know, and every time that I go live, I need to remember there are so many things that I don't know.
Okay, so now I need to bring out my align panel because here we go. Remember Naoma yesterday being a little bit of an align person. So I'm going to pull this and make that right there so that I always have that there. Just going to make sure that that all aligns. I want this to be a little bit bigger, a little bit more in your face. So I'm just selecting it all and I'm hitting the wrong thing.
Anthony is saying colors are so vibrant.
Yes, that's what we want.
We love it.
So I think I'm actually going to make this bleed off the page because I can. So we're going to do that to make it just a little bit more intense. So I'm going to make this blue, libraries blue, and I'm going to make the quote thing as well blue. So we can have this over here. I just want to make sure that lines up.
And the quote is just what we were saying not yesterday, earlier today. You need the confidence to fail in order to take the risk in your work. Couldn't agree more.
Totally. Actually, I'm going to make this like really big. And I'm going to throw it back. Not all that way back. I need to go to my layers. And I need to move the pink down. There we go. So I'm going to do that.
Also, Naoma, the little dot grid looks like it fits perfectly under the. Oops, no, you were. Never mind.
Oh, you're right there.
It was like completely filling in, but go ahead and feel free to do whatever your eyes take you. But I just love the way that it was almost like fitting Tetris.
Oh yeah, I don't know where I had it now. Well, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe there.
Keep creating.
Maybe actually we may hide that. So I'm going to pull that off my board.
Jotirmia says this design looks so pretty and interesting.
Awesome.
Fantastic.
Actually, I may just leave that over here and let that bleed off and really just focus on the type. But I may do a little bit of something and throw that back there. And then I may throw a sliver of that other color behind here.
So while Naoma finishes off this page, I want to tell you that it's about 5 minutes until we will jump into Discord to review your amazing work. Hopefully we will have some time to come back and finish off the work also in InDesign. But I can see there are many submissions coming through, so don't forget to share with us your work on Discord. You'll find the link in the chat and also above the chat on behance.net/live, and share your work by clicking on the little plus at the end of the chat in the challenge channel under feedback on the Illustrator Discord. And me and Naoma will be jump on Discord pretty soon to give you a live feedback.
So just because we are short on time, I'm just going to go ahead and make the final image, the final page, just because that is going to be the call to action, which is so vital.
Yes.
And something that we should never really forget about. So I'm just going to align this to the center. Oh, I need to put to page, align. Then I'm going to go ahead and lock it. Command L locks that layer so I don't have to move it. And let's see, I'm going to go over to my pages, my pagination. I'm going to pull that little icon so I can make it really big on the back. And I think I'm going to align it again to the center page. Yes. And then I'm going to change it to a different color. So I don't know, hot pink may be too much right here. Adding that blue outline that we do not want. So I think that's a little too aggressive. So we'll go with the cream. And then I'm going to put, for more information or to donate, please go to for more information. Actually, please go to, it's a little redundant. We're just going to do redesigning herstory.com, and we're going to go back to our character styles and do that subheader.
Is the website live by any chance?
It is a work in progress. I think you can go and see some.
Yes.
It's all there for you. So
redesign
I would not
herstory.com.
Yep, and we're going to do this in the cream color as well. And I may do this as a double. Oh. So that we can actually do this in that beautiful italic conductor. Because it is so great.
Also, it's redesigning, no redesign.
Yes, redesigning. Yeah,
Okay.
For more information or to donate, we'll make that blue. Redesigning herstory.com. Yes. Just want to make sure that that's correct. We're going to align this to the bottom. And I have the margins all the same on everything, so I'm just going to kind of move that down to the bottom page. But because we have those awesome arrows that we're using, I'm definitely going to add that here. Command Shift.
Ooh, I love the way that the website is showing. So you got a preview of the logo and then the website is happening in the background.
Oh, awesome. I haven't even looked at it. So
It's
that's
happening.
good to know.
It's happening. It's happening.
It's happening. It is happening. Okay, so now I'm changing my mind. I don't want this to be centered. I'm going to definitely move it all over. And I want to move it all the way to the edge. And I'm going to make my arrow come in. I think I'll make it blue.
Nancy's saying, I love how the color is tying everything together, composition and font.
For sure. Color is a great way to do that. So if you have a really solid color palette, it's really easy to get that knocked. Like, you can pretty much do anything, and the color palette is going to tie it in together. And if you have color palette and font tied in, then it's even better. I will tell you that. So remember my little box trick. I'm just making sure that this aligns perfectly to the type, and that it's not like a little off, and it does. So awesome.
Our little square check, rectangle check.
Exactly. Little rectangle check, just to be sure.
So I was just waiting for you to finish off this page, and then we're gonna be jumping into Discord super shortly. Well, so literally less 30 seconds for everyone to publish your work on Discord. Me and Naoma are gonna jump there, and Naoma will be able to give you feedback. Fantastic. Yeah, so this is really coming together, huh? Beautiful.
Yep. I say we're good to jump into Discord. I'm excited to see other people's work.
Fantastic. So let me just move up into my screen. I'm gonna refresh my page one more time just to allow everyone else to join Discord, and I am going to move into my screen. Fantastic. So I can see that the last submission from Alien Queen is tickets and wristband, and because it's the same person and we done it yesterday, I will do the wristband here as well, just to see how they tie together. And Naoma, let me know when you are also over our fantastic Discord. Those look pretty beautiful. I think Naoma is gonna love it as soon as she jumps into Discord with us. We'll be able to review this together. Don't worry. We are waiting for you here. I'm just appreciating the beauty of this design. So I can see that you have also done the ticket following the same design with the same pattern as well. It looks absolutely fantastic, Eliane. I'm a very big fan of the color palette that you're using. I think it works very well together. And then also Naoma, just to because I can see that Naoma is joining us. Perfect. Did you find the link?
Yeah,
otherwise, amazing. Otherwise, you could just going through behance.net/challenge/illustrator. But fantastic. I can see that you're here with me, and you're gonna love this submission from Alien Queen.
What's loading?
The pattern, as I said, it brings together the two projects. So we have the wristband and the ticket on the same, with the same colors and with the same pattern. And I think you've done a fantastic job with the color with the color and with the typeface. I'm sure that Naoma is gonna love this sort of work. It looks like it's down your alley.
This is totally up my alley. I really love that you just use these solid bright colors, and that you've kind of used the same font, but you've outlined the second part. I would tell you that when you outline font like that, definitely give it a little bit of tracking, just so that we don't get some of that squishiness, and it becomes a little bit easier to read. So I would definitely do that. I love these patterns that you've made for it. So awesome work.
I agree. Absolutely beautiful. Very, very. I love the type as well, but very good advice, Naoma. I think it's great. And I can see Design Geek that catching up with the IDCC. I'm gonna is still the bracelet. So let's move on to the ticket, because that was today Illustrator Daily Creative Challenge. So we have a lot of business card. Everyone is catching up. Fantastic. And a more ticket with Tuki Lampkin. And they
Okay.
are the one called Soho. I can see Naoma's scroll, so you perhaps scroll a little bit up until we see the
Okay.
next ticket
Oh,
that
I see
says
it. Got it.
Soho. Fantastic. So let's see what feedback we can give. I love the colors here as well.
These colors are really interesting. I like you would typically not have these combinations, which I love, obviously. I would definitely wish that there was a way that you could tie both tickets in together. So either having that gradient on Soho be used on both tickets, I think that would be a great way. And on the bottom one, you have the gradient of like blue to orange, and then you have orange as the circle. That's where I'm saying like follow your own rules. So if you had that gradient like on that purple to like, I don't know, say yellow or lime green, then your circle would be like the lime green or something like that. So if you create those kind of rules for yourself, I think that this would like really be great.
Yeah, so I will perhaps kind of give the same advice of simplify colors. There is a lot going on, and if you just kind of reduce your palette, and maybe we can discard the green and really stick into the pink, the orange, the blue, and the black, and make it work like that. Otherwise, the design is fantastic. I love the way that the circle works with the type. Just if you zoom in, just because I'm obsessive. There is a little bit of the circle that is creating a tiny corner on the top right, and you're either in or you're out. So I will
Mm-hmm.
just either move it to the corner so we don't have the little corner of background coming up. But again, just if you want to really obsessive, the design otherwise is fantastic. And perhaps the same with the S and the stroke behind it. You can see a little bit of the stroke. Either go for it and have that stroke coming through, or hide it completely. Go bold or go home. That's
Yeah,
my sort of
totally
advice.
agree.
But the design is fantastic. I love all these graphics shaped together. It's definitely beautiful and bold. And then we have Anthony that is also here in the chat. It was commenting and writing in the chat. Here's your beautiful design for Sparks Show.
Oh, I love these colors for sure.
Very
I
playful, huh?
they're very playful. I wish that some of these tickets would have been reversed, right? So like not everything is the dark blue
Oh, great
background,
idea. Great
but if we
idea.
would have had that red, if we would have had that like blue, like that neon-y blue, and that yellow, I think that that would have made this really interesting. And with the QR codes, this is really interesting because
Super
QR codes
modern.
are becoming now back in trend. But I would leave the white box off and just make the QR code itself white, so
So
that it's just
Marta
a little
Marta
less.
Valera, sorry for interrupting you, but I've seen that Marta
Uh,
Valera is in the chat, and I think she was with the So design before. Marta, well done. The graphic is fantastic. You've done a really good job. I wouldn't touch the shapes at all. I would just fix the circle and the little stripe, but like very, very minimal. Otherwise, leave everything the same and just focus on the color, and it looks fantastic. And also we have Anthony in the chat, and that's exactly the work that we are reviewing. And he's like, I should have done that. I think it's a fantastic idea. Well, you still have time to do it. If you have time, if we have time, we're gonna scroll back in the chat, and maybe you can do it right now. Just publish a second design. You have the option of alternate the front and the back. I'm gonna let me know in the chat if you want to do it. I'm always happy to go back and see. I always appreciate effort in putting the feedback together. Otherwise, you already done a fantastic job, and thank you so much for your submission. And then we go to entry for day number 8 with this yellow beautiful background.
Oh, these are so fun. I wish this visual, this like fun
Ooh,
type circus thing that you have, I wish that was bigger.
it's
I wish that
gorgeous.
that was a little bit more dominant, where I think that that circle pattern, it's nice, but this other thing that you have is way more interesting. And if it would have taken up a little bit more, I think that would have been cool, especially when you're using film. Like that really could have gone over two of the frames because that's how film works. So I think that that would have even been more interesting. But this is an amazing start and a lot of fun.
Yes, I completely agree. That visual almost remind me of a Almodovar movie.
Hmm.
So gorgeous. I mean, I can see a poster just with that and the date, and fantastic job. It looks very, very gorgeous. And yeah, maybe there is a lot going on with the textures as well. So try to simplify it, but and really try to make a little bit more of that fantastic type that you created, because it's really outstanding.
Agreed.
And then we have another yellow background and gray background for our SEP.
I love how simple this is. It's kind of going back to simplicity a little bit, which is nice. You're really kind of focusing in on the type. Um, so I think that that's really nice. The way that you've lined up the tab, the tear off tab, where you have the everything is just so easily and to read. It's really great. I would just say that some of it is a little too small, and that tear off tab, it would have been really cool if you would have inversed the colors. Like I know we're only working with black and white, but if that tab would have been black with everything white, I think that would have been
Oh,
striking.
yes, nice contrast. Fantastic. I mean, the mock-up as well looks beautiful. And can you see that he's even gone to the detail of having a sort of branding lay overlay on the design? Like if you really, really
Oh, I
zoom
see it.
in,
Yes.
it's almost like branded paper.
Mm-hmm.
How cool is
That
that?
that is really nice
That's
for
eye for
sure.
detail. Well
Getting
done,
there.
Arsap. Fantastic. Very, very well done. And then we have Julia. Julia managed to share her work. She was in the chat before. She was struggling. I'm so happy to see that you actually did find a way to upload your work on Discord. And I'm gonna let Naoma review it because it looks fantastic.
This is really interesting and fun. So the one thing that I do see is like the time, 8 and 6 p.m. Like I wish the numbers were the same height as PM was. So sometimes types are a little weird like that, but if you highlight them and you do the two big double T's, which means all caps in Illustrator and InDesign, it sometimes makes it that same height. I would say to do that for sure. I think these colors are really interesting. I love this orange with this minty. And I love how quirky the type is. So
Yes.
I think that that's really great. I would have made that white bar another color. I would have pulled in another color in there so that what's really only white is like the movie, and that would actually enhance more of that legibility.
Or maybe just use a different type for the time, something that is a little bit more standard. And again, Dean could be a fantastic choice, what we were using today. Just something that
Hmm.
is sans serif, especially with number. Those are useful information that you want to be able to read. While for the type or the font and the name, I think is fantastic to the way you've done it. And the colors are beautiful. And also she could use your rectangle trick to make sure that the
Oh
height
yeah.
matches.
The rectangle trick.
Yes. That's very cool. Oh, we have another one. Oh, that was Julia. I'm not gonna review Julia because those are fantastic. So I think we've
Looks like
done.
we have some new ones down at the bottom, which
Oh,
look really
good,
nice.
good, good, good. I'm gonna refresh the page as well to make sure that we got them all. Since we have a little bit more time, we can go over those. We have Danone, or we have Manal. Let's start from Manal, and
Okay.
then we go back to the other one. Ooh, love it, love it, love
These
it.
look like fun space. Um, that's really fun. The only thing I really like all this texture that you have back here and all these shapes that you're playing with. I think that's wonderful. My only thing is the type of the title. It just feels like that type doesn't really go with the super modern that we have. So I would find something that was a sans serif, kind of like what we were using. Din would be really nice for this, which gives it that futuristic techie feel, which kind of is what you're already going towards.
And keep it bold, bold but
Yeah,
sans serif.
yeah. But great job. I love these colors.
Look fantastic. The pattern behind and the color, they work incredibly well. And let's go up to, so well done to, I'm just gonna try and ask Manal, And then we have Danone.
Oh, this is really
Ooh.
fun. I love that you have this layering effect, which makes
Ooh.
things look 3D even though they're 2D. That's really lovely. I would say that maybe we work a little bit on the circles because it almost looks like a dog paw
Oh, that's right.
icon. And that's just because I look at icons a lot. But if we move some of this stuff around or made that bigger circle a little bit bigger, it would really take that away. But I love this light pink and this green. I mean, that's
Color
fantastic
palette
for
is
sure.
beautiful. Color
For
palette is fantastic, and that, that sandwiching of graphic is, oof, really, really caught us at our attention. But I agree. I agree with everything that Naoma said. You just want to stay away from composition that can recall a different subject unless it's a dog show. And in that case, it will be fine. Santiago is asking if we will do also portfolio review. Not today. Today is not portfolio review. I believe those are maybe tomorrow. Maybe Wade can help us with that. I'm not 100% sure, but now I'm gonna refresh one more time to see if there is any other work. And otherwise, we literally have 10 minutes to jump back and recap what we've done with Naoma. Danilo is saying, thank you so much. We will fix it. We'll fix it. But well done, Danilo. It looks fantastic. So we're going to jump back into your screen if there are no more submission. And Anthony, if you're in the chat and if you're implementing the feedback, let me know. I'll be more than happy to go back. If not, don't worry. You can always give me a shout afterwards. And before jumping back, I also want to make sure to remind everyone that there are more resources coming up in just a second. I'm gonna let you know all about it, but I can see, sorry, I got distracted because I seen Naoma already showing her beautiful design. So I'm just gonna jump right into your screen, Naoma, and we are gonna talk about what we've done in from yesterday to today. And if there is maybe another minute if you want to finalize everything, but otherwise we have less than 10 minutes to go now. So
Yeah, so I'm just going to kind of recap a little bit and maybe show some of these rules that I'm creating for myself. So a rule that I've created with the quote is that we always have this on top of a quote before going it, and then this color is always the same color as the name of whoever the quote is from, as we can see right here. See there, we have this, and then we have the name. This is what I'm talking about when you set rules for yourself. I always have two squiggles together. They can be the same color or different colors. When I do this pattern, it's the pattern is always the same color when it's together, but then it can be broken apart. So this is what I'm talking about when we're implementing these rules. See, here I have two of the squiggles that come through. I have a black and white image with a color overlay that is from our color palette. So these are the things. We always have her, a different color. These are things that will really help you fine tune those design elements. So yesterday we fine tuned the poster, which is also the DVD cover. Oh. As we can see here, that was that poster that we did yesterday. I just
it's looking
resized it to be a
fantastic,
DVD
by the way.
cover. I used some of these elements to make a pencil case, and then see I pulled in different elements while I'm still following my rules on the mugs. So if no one hates it, no one really loves it. That's a Jessica Walsh quote. I have it in pink. Her name is in pink, and then we have the icon that goes with this this work. So we have the same thing here. So those are the kind of rules that you need to set for yourself. So we always have the two squiggles. We've kind of made the type. We've figured out a body copy. We've played with this conductor in several ways with the from the italic to just the bold to the wide. We're definitely playing with big compositions and being a little bit in your face and not being scared. And so we developed out that poster, and then we finished up this carousel, which is on my Instagram right now. You can go see how that functions.
I'm gonna jump onto that real quick. So let me see if I can show to everyone. Since we have it there, if you want to just gonna keep it on Illustrator for a second and show the Illustrator file, and then I will just go into my screen and show it live on your Instagram. So here, that's the design that we created. And then let me jump into my screen. That's Naoma Instagram. And as you can see, this is the design, and I'm gonna click onto it. And as you can see, we can scroll through the beautiful carousel with the graphic that introduces to the next slide. That's fantastic. I really love the way that that came out. I really liked it, but I really, really do like it. It's such a fantastic job. So if you want to see the work in action, make sure to follow Naoma on Now Serna on Instagram, and you can see the work that we've done yesterday live. I'm gonna jump back
Yeah.
into your screen so you can talk about what we've done today before we say goodbye.
Yeah, so today we're just kind of we haven't finished the pitch deck. I'll have to finish this for sure. But I've started at least to implement those rules that I will have as I continue this project out. This I've made it regular size paper, 8.5 by 11. And that's just because typically people tend to print this out if they were to go to a presentation. But I also made it horizontal so that it can look fine digitally. So if people downloaded it, it would still look fine to be this way. Horizontal, yes, horizontal, that is correct. I get those confused. So I accidentally put that there. We want really bright, bold graphics. That's kind of what I love to do, are these bold graphics. So that's kind of what we did these past 2 days, is really breaking out this brand into lots of different ways and setting those rules for ourselves. So
Fantastic. That
any
if
other
there were, I don't know if there is any other question, but we literally have perhaps 2 minutes before saying goodbye. I want to take the occasion to also share some resources. So yesterday we did spoke a lot, and we had a lot of questions regarding on being a freelancer. How do you deal with your clients and contracts, and how to make sure that you get paid? And therefore, I created a resources for you. So I'm gonna jump back into my screen, and if you want have access to the resources, you can go on my website, which is iamclari.com, and you can find a lot of different resources. By also by placing your email here, you will receive the secret password to access the free gift. And the very first of the free gift is the template contract, which is exactly what we were speaking today. I made available for you. This is what I use in my studio. And since we are in InDesign, I'm just going to jump into InDesign to show you real quick what have I done with the contract. And all you need to do here is simply to use the layers like Naoma was doing very neatly. And then go into your master where it says master credits. You can go under pages and master, and you'll be able to place your logo. So all you have to do is to delete this placeholder and write the name of the client and fill in the contract and use it for your own project. Now make sure to change everywhere where it says the name of your name or client name, that you will have to personalize and make it into your own name and your client name. And I think that's pretty much it for today. Make sure to join me and Naoma on Instagram. We're more than happy to say hi to you, to give tips for everyone. Naoma is Naoma Serma. I just went back into my inbox. Let me go real quick into your Instagram. Here it is. Sorry, I showed everyone all my messages, but it's fine. I got nothing to hide. I got messages for all of you lovely people. So again, as I was saying, if you wanna follow the amazing amazing creative director of Nuevo Studio, which is our lovely Naoma, go on Instagram.com/NowSerna. And if you want to follow me, is I am Clary, pretty much everywhere across the social media. And I think it's unfortunately time to say goodbye. It was wonderful to be here with you. Thank you so much for joining us. We absolutely love to have you here, Naoma. Thank you so much for all the amazing tips that you shared with us.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a lot of fun.
Fantastic. So we'll see you soon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. And actually, I got 1 minute before I say goodbye. Sorry, Naoma. I just want to share and show the schedule because there is more Adobe Live. It doesn't finish here, the party. We have Adobe XD with Daily Creative Challenge with Jesse Showalter, and then Draw Along with Kyle Webster. And to close the day with even more fun, Voodoo Val and Meredith Schoenberg for another design off. So thank you so much, everyone. It was fantastic to be here with you. And stay tuned. Grab a cup of coffee and come back for more Adobe Live. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Bye.